King David had.
Is this King David?
I'm coming. King David had several sons. He had plenty sons. And it's not that King David has one mommy. The sons have different mommy. So King David has several sons from different mummies. So, and one of his sons was Absalom. Absalom was like third oldest son, like third born. Like the mummy gave birth to one boy, another boy, then another boy. Number 3 is Absalom. The first one, number 1, was Amnon.
What's Amnon?
He's one of the sons of David, King David. Yes.
All of them is
No.
Absalom.
Amnon, not Amnon.
Amnon.
They in their language they have the spelling, they have the meaning to it. So the mother of Absalom, David was king. So because of his royalty status, so he can go to any kingdom and get wife. So the mother of Absalom was the daughter of the king of Geshur. You see, this is Jerusalem, all these places, and there's another king here, land of Geshur. So their own king is gave birth to another baby, which is Gege. So the Gege now become mommy to David. He married David and they now gave birth to Absalom. But it is not only Absalom that his mommy gave birth to. Absalom also, yes, this is greatness. See mommy of Absalom. Even her name was Maacah. Yes, Maachal. So the mommy also gave birth to another baby Gege, and the baby Gege was called Tamar, the sister of Absalom. Their greatness, say Tamar. Say Tamar. So Absalom is the brother, while Tamar was the sister. But there was trouble in the family when the older brother, what's the name of the first brother? Amnon did something bad to Tamar. The sister, Tamar was the sister of Absalom. So Amnon did something bad to Tamar. And when Absalom discovered that Amnon has done something bad to her sister, Absalom was not happy and he was looking for a way to do something bad back to Amnon, his brother. Absalom was very angry. Why will you do that kind of thing to my sister? I will do my own back. So Absalom now did something. After 2 years that thing has happened, Absalom told his servant to give Amnon hot drink so that Amnon will not know what he's doing.
This Amnon?
Yes, this Amnon. So this Amnon. He told his servant to give Amnon very hard drink that would make him to be doing like this, so that he will not know what he is doing. And when he was drunk, he told them that they should choke him. You know what Absalom did? Absalom called party that all the children of the king should come to the party. He called party that all the children of the king should come to the party. So, but Absalom had told his servant secretly.
Where is the sister?
The sister is no longer there because of the bad thing that that Amnon had done to the sister. The sister cannot walk publicly again. So, but Absalom was still angry with what Amnon did, and Absalom now called party of all the children of the king, the sons, So they are now doing party, they are eating and drinking, enjoy themselves, and they give Amnon too much drink and his head was turning. He doesn't know what he was doing. That's how the servant of Absalom took him. You see his hand? That's how they took him and he passed away. When they took. When King David heard that his son has passed away, King David was not happy and King David was mourning. When someone passed away, the families will be mourning the person, crying, they'll be sitting down gently, they will be mourning. So King David also mourned his son. For several days, he was mourning. Thinking of his son. Oh, my son. Some people has took my son and he has passed away. My first son. So for several days. But King David knew that it was Absalom that sent his servant to do that. And everybody knew that it was Absalom that organized the party and he was the one that sent his servant to choke Amnon. So he now ran away to his grandpa, the king of Geshur. The king of Geshur is the daddy of his mommy. So he now ran to his grandpa and he was living in the land of his grandpa, land of Geshur. He was living there. For 3 years he went there. But David said, why would Absalom also run away? I don't do anything to you. So as David was thinking of Amnon that has passed away, David was also thinking of Absalom. Though David wanted to see Absalom, he was still not happy. David wanted to see Absalom. This is where David is. Absalom has run to Geshur. Though David wanted to see Absalom, Absalom was afraid that David will do something for him. But David did not really forgive Absalom. In his heart, he was still angry that why would Absalom do this to his brother because of something Amnon did to her sister. Why? So there was trouble everywhere in the palace. So there was one man, Joab. Joab was the commander of David's armies and he was looking for a way to settle the problem because he knew that there is a lot of problem in the palace and he was looking for a way to settle the problem, to make the heart of the king to settle down so that the king can forgive Absalom. So Joab now invites a wise woman to go and see David. A very wise woman. Joab invited the woman should go and see David. So when the woman came, the woman dressed like a widow that was crying. And the woman was crying like woman said that something happened to her. You see the woman. Joab and the woman, they have discussed what the woman will say. They just look for a way to make the king forgive Absalom. So the woman came and the woman was crying and said that I had 2 sons, but they got into fight. My 2 sons were fighting one day and one of them took the other one that she had 2 sons, and one day the 2 sons were fighting and one of the sons took the other one and the other one passed away. Now the woman now said that everyone is saying that he should bring the other son again so that they can take the life of other person that is alive too. And the woman said, this is the only son I have. Are you getting what I'm saying? So you see that the story is the same as what just happened to David. Did you notice that the story is the same? Amnon and Absalom, they were the one fighting, and Absalom sent his servant to choke Amnon. and Amnon passed away. This woman also tells the story of how her two sons were fighting, and the first one take the life of the other one. So this one passed away, remain one. Now they now tell the woman to bring this one that remain also, so that they can take the life of this one, so that the two of them will no longer stay alive, and the woman will not have any child again. So it was like a parable for King David. King David now told the woman that the woman should stop crying, that she will not allow them to kill the son. Then the woman now said to David that, King David, don't you know that you are the one that we are telling parable? Do you know that your son that has run away, you did not allow your son to come back to Jerusalem? King David now look at her. You are using style to tell me the story of what happened to me. So immediately King David sent message to Absalom in Geshur, and Absalom came back to Jerusalem. Although he could not see Absalom immediately, when Absalom came back to Jerusalem, he did not order anybody to arrest Absalom. He did not order anybody to do anything. So after some time, he now sent for Absalom to come back to the palace, and David hugged Absalom.
What's Absalom?
This is Absalom, this is King David, and he welcomed his son back, that you are welcome, my son. God bless you. I have forgiven you. Whatever you have done, I forgive you. I forgive you. So after Absalom came back to the palace, King David has forgiven him. King David is no longer taking charge against him again. Even he has done something bad. Absalom now, yes, he has done so, and King David has forgiven him. So after King David forgiving him like this, he now became proud. He became very proud that he was now doing anyhow. Someone that has run away before, but because Joab did what he did to settle the issue between the king, because king was heavy-hearted every time. The king was thinking about the son that is no longer alive. The king was also thinking about Absalom that ran away. But because Joab was wise, Joab settled the matter. But instead of Absalom to be a well-behaved boy in the palace, he became very proud. He was doing anyhow. He provided himself with chariots and horses and 50 men to run ahead of him. Maybe because he thought that he would become king next now, since the firstborn has passed away, which was Amnon. Normally, the firstborn is supposed to take over, become king. But now that the firstborn is no longer alive, so he thought that because the king has forgiven him, he can be doing anyhow. So he now go and gather chariots, horses, and he gathered 50 men that will be running out in front of him. Everywhere he's going like this, 50 men will be in front and will be coming at the back. And everybody was praising him because he was also handsome. He also have long hair, very beautiful long hair. He has very beautiful long hair that he only cut that hair once a year. He don't used to cut his hair every time. He only cut his hair once a year. And whenever he cut his hair like this, his hair will weigh 200 shekels, like 2.2 kg. 2.2 kg. That's how heavy Absalom's hair was. He was endowed. He was handsome. He has beautiful hair. Everybody like him, but did not use this endowment to glorify God. At times, God will give us some things. God wants us to use it to glorify his name. But instead, Absalom was using it to glorify himself. He was just using that endowment to enjoy and do different kind of things. So one day, Absalom was sitting by the gate of the city to meet those who will be coming to see the king. So don't let us go there. So Absalom became so proud and full of himself to the extent that if anybody want to go and see king, in those times when there is any issues, people will come to the king and people will settle the matter. The way that widow woman went to King David and told him that they want to take the life of his son, and King David told him that he will protect the son and nothing will happen. That's how the king used to judge and let people be at rest. If two persons are fighting, they will go to the king and the king will settle their matter. If somebody owe somebody money, the person is not ready to pay back, it was the king that they will go to and the king will settle the matter for them. So Absalom became so full of himself that Absalom will now go to the entrance of the city gate where people that want to come to the king will pass. So if anybody want to enter into the palace to go and see the king, he will stop them. And will tell them that our king is old. Our king cannot talk again. Our king cannot see anybody. Come here, let me see you. Let me settle your matter. I am your king now. And King David is still inside. It's just that King David is old. And Absalom will be telling the people that all the good people that can work with the king are no longer there. He was telling people different things about the king and his people, that there is nobody with the king again. The king is very old. The king is old school. The king cannot do anything. I will be here. I will help you. And he will be stopping people at the gates, and he will be judging people. He will be judging them. He will be settle cases for them at the gates. Why is this boy doing like this? So he was doing that continually. When people came, he will stop them. He will tell them that, let me be your judge. I can judge you. I can judge for you. The king cannot do anything. Let me be your judge. And he was doing like that on and on. That's how people became to know Absalom. So anytime anyone came, if anybody came to the palace and they want to see the king, instead they're supposed to bow down. For the king. Absalom will say that they should not bow down. They should only shake hand. When you see an elder that is supposed to prostrate, Absalom will say, no, don't prostrate. They will only shake hand. They will only be shaking hand. That's how Absalom became popular in Israel. He became popular that this king's son is different too. He did not allow people to bow down. We are just shaking hands. This one is different. That's how Absalom became popular in the palace and all over Israel. And for 4 years, he was gaining popularity upon popularity. And the king is also in the palace. So after 4 years that he realized that many people has developed interest in him, he discovered that many people like him. So he now plotted to become king. He now said that, yes, I want to become king now. Let the king go and die. I'm now your king. The king is old. He cannot do anything again. Let me become your king. Now. And that king is his father. So Absalom was behaving anyhow, even after his father forgave him. After his father gave him many things, he started misbehaving in the palace. And he now went to the king to go and ask for permission to go to Absalom to go and do some sacrifice to God. He told king, and he was lying. He told the king that he has promised God that he want to sacrifice for him for bringing him back from Geshur. And Hebron is where they used to make king. They used to anoint the king on that mountain. That's where and nobody is permitted to go there without the command of the. So Absalom now deceived the king. and told King David that he wanted to go and sacrifice to God for bringing him back from Geshur. After 4 years, after 4 years of returning back from Geshur, after 4 years that after 4 years that the king has forgiven him, after 4 years that he has been doing anyhow in the city, that he became popular, he now thought of going to Hebron to sacrifice to God. But since the king doesn't really have anything, king is already at his last stage of life. King said, no problem, you can go, I permit you. You can go. Just make sure you behave well and you didn't do anything bad when you get there. And the king permitted. So, and they traveled from Jerusalem and they traveled Hebron. Absalom gathered 200 guests. He invited 200 people. To follow him there. So when he got there, he now sent message to every part of Israel to announce to them that as soon as they hear the trumpet, that when they hear the trumpet like this, they should know that they have crowned Absalom in Hebron, that they have put crown on Absalom in Hebron, that he has become king there. That's where they supposed to put crown on anybody that will be king. So he went there, that they will blow a trumpet from there. After they have put crown on him, they will blow a trumpet, and everybody in Israel should know that he has become king like that, and they should only worship him, that King David is no longer king there. So when they got there, people started gathering, people started coming. They follow Absalom. They follow Absalom to that place, and people started coming plenty. Even someone, Ahithophel is one of the counselors of King David. He also went there. Everybody, they were supporting him. Many people that has been working with King David before, they left King David and they follow Absalom. They thought that Absalom will become king. So after they've done everything they want to do on Mount Hebron, after they did what they want to do, that's how they started marching towards Jerusalem. So after they finished what they want to do here, and they started marching towards here, and they were shouting, "Long live Absalom! Absalom is our king now. Absalom is our king." Even King David is still alive. King David is not dead. Everybody was shouting. There are plenty people following him, and they are coming towards Jerusalem. They want to go and scatter everything in the palace. They want to send everybody in the palace away. They want to scatter. They want to even take King David's life, so that Absalom will become king straight. Immediately, someone that loved King David quickly ran to Jerusalem. This is King David. This is the message. He quickly ran and came to Jerusalem and told King David, "Hey, King David, something has happened. King David, there is fire on the mountain. Everywhere are scattered. Every people in Israel, they have joined your son Absalom. They are coming now. They are coming now. They are coming towards Jerusalem. They are coming towards the palace. They want to scatter everything. Everybody is now following him." King David said, "Jesus, what is this now? What should I do? Where will I go?" So immediately, King David packed all his loads, and he still have some men with him. Not everybody has followed Absalom. He still have some 600 men that were with him. So he quickly tell them, "Let's first run away, because I will not want to be fighting my son. Because if these people want to fight, King David and his men can fight them, and they will scatter all of them." But because of the Spirit of God in King David, the first thing King David did was to first run away. So he carry all his things, carry everything, and King David ran away. from the palace. So King David covered his head with sad clothes. King David covered his head and he ran away. And many people that saw King David running away, they were also crying. They were crying that, what is the meaning of this now? Why is our king running away? His son want to take over his kingdom. Now our king is now running. Who are crying? The people, they did not know where to go. They did not want to show that they support the king because their business is still there and they do not want to follow Absalom. They were only there to follow whoever became king. But because King David don't want war, he just left the palace with his people. And even King David did not wear shoe. He just covered his head with sackcloth, and everybody cry. So after several days, Absalom got to Jerusalem. Absalom is now in Jerusalem, and he was thinking of that if he want to enter into palace now that the palace is empty, that King David and his people has run away, what can he do now? He now started asking for advice, and Ahithophel, one of King David's advisors, now told him that King David cannot fight again. All his men has run away. What you will do now is to run after King David and take his life. That he should run after King David and take his life. Because if he did not take the life of King David, he will not enjoy his kingdom. That wherever King David run to, he should go and look for King David to take his life. But in the palace, there is another man that did not follow King David. He was there. He was also there in the palace with them. But he liked King David. He's supposed to follow King David. But King David just put him there so that he will be part of the advisor of Absalom. So the name of this man is Hushai. And Hushai told Absalom, no, don't pursue King David though. You know King David can fight. And don't answer Ahithophel. Ahithophel tell you that King David did not have anybody that can fight with him. King David still have plenty warriors that can fight. Don't follow King David now. Since King David has run away, give him time to run away very well. King David will not come back again. He has gone, will not come back. And Absalom said, it's true. Why will I still pursue somebody that is already running away? We don't need to run after King David again. Let's just be enjoying ourselves in the palace. Now we are already in the palace. King David has run away. Let him continue to run away. He will not come back again forever. Let him continue. So we will not run after King David. Let's just sit here and be enjoying ourselves. So Absalom listened to Hushai's advice. That Hushai's advice was good. So because they did not follow King David was able to run and move far away and hide where he wanted to hide. Ahithophel was not happy because he gave Absalom advice. Absalom did not use his advice. He was very angry because in his life, this is Ahithophel, he has never gave anybody advice that the advice did not work. But this time, his advice did not work at all. And this advice did not work because God loved David. It was God that gave David wisdom to let Hushai wait in the palace. If not for God, Ahithophel's advice will work and they will pursue King David. They will take the life of David. So because Ahithophel was very angry and was not happy that his advice did not work, he quickly left them angrily, went to his house, locked his door and take his own life. He take his own life like that, poor, and he passed away. So after David has traveled far, David now camped And David now stay at Mahanaim in the forest. David has run away from Jerusalem and he stayed at Mahanaim. There, people that like him, they still bring food for him. They brought food for him there. They gave him food, take care of him. And his soldiers that they thought that have left him, his soldiers were still with him. Remember that commander, Joab, that settled the matter between King David and Absalom. Joab was still with him. Abishai was still with him. Hittai was still with him. Great mighty soldiers, they were still with King David. Then they said to King David, we want to go and fight. We want to go and fight because the people of Absalom, they will soon be coming and kill. They will soon be coming and want to take the life of King David. Joab said King David should let them go and fight. Release us, let's go and fight. King David said, let me follow you. I don't want you to fight. They said, no, King David, don't follow us. Just let us go and fight. Because now the soldiers of Absalom will soon be coming. And it is true. Soldiers of Absalom are already coming, looking for King David. That's how the soldiers of Joab too, they also came out. Soldiers of King David, they also came out and meet the soldiers of Absalom. That's how they started fighting. You are fighting inside the forest. Because the soldiers of King David are very strong. They were just smashing soldiers of Absalom. They were just smashing them down. Fire. They are just cutting them. See, after they've cut so many soldiers inside that place, like 20,000 men were smashed down. 20,000 men were smashed down inside the forest. So while they were fighting, the soldiers of David, they saw Absalom. After they've smashed down like 20,000 men inside the forest, Absalom was running away because his soldiers were not trained. His soldiers don't know how to fight. But soldiers of King David, they can fight very well. So after the soldiers of King David had smashed down many of his soldiers, he was now running away. As he was running away like this, his hair, because his hair was very much, his hair just hang on the tree and he cannot go again. He was just standing there. The horse that he was riding, the horse ran away, but his hair caught the tree and he was hanging there. So when the soldiers of David, they saw Absalom hanging on the tree, they said, this is our enemy. Let's take his life. Don't take his life. Let's smash him. Don't smash him. Let's cut his head. Let's cut his intestine. He was just there begging them, please help me. They now quickly go and tell their commander, Joab. They told Joab, hey, we have found the enemy. We have found that boy, that stupid boy. That boy that is not doing well. That boy that is troubling his daddy. We have found him. We have found Absalom. He's hanging on the tree. Joab said, don't worry. And Joab went there. You see, his hair is still hanging on the tree. And he was there begging them. Joab was very angry. Joab was the one that made David to forgive him. So that made Joab very angry that, you this boy, why are you doing like this? So when Joab heard that Absalom was hanging on the tree, Joab said, you should have smashed him down, cut his head off, pull out, choke him on the stomach. And they said, no, king said that we should not do anything to Absalom. The king said we should not do anything. The king said if we see him, that we should not harm him because he was just a boy. He was just behaving anyhow. Joab said, no, enough of this nonsense. And he took 2 daggers this javelin. He took 3 because he was very angry that which kind of boy is this? You that we are just begging the king to forgive you some years ago, and here you are doing this kind of thing. And he threw the dagger into his stomach. Pew! He first threw one. Chuku! Chook his stomach. Blood came out. He took the second one because Joab was very angry, and he choked the third one, and his heart come out, all his intestine come out, and passed away. Painful way, in a very painful way, passed. The soldiers were just looking at, Joab, don't do it. The king said we should not touch his son. Joab said, no, not this kind of son. Not this kind of son that is not doing very well, that is not hearing word. He took him. This boy is not hearing word. Not hearing word at all. He's not a good boy. It's not a good boy. Took him. And they remove his body from 3, and they dig the ground, put him under the ground, and they put stones, plenty stones, they put it in his grave. Inside the forest, they just bury him. Let's just put him anyhow, just bury him there. All the soldiers, all the people that are following Absalom, they all fled. After like 20,000 people has passed away inside the forest, because the fight was very strong. After 20,000 people have passed, so every other person that remained, they ran away to their house. So while King David was inside the place where he's hiding, someone just came. One of the messengers just came and told him that blessed be the Lord God.
Yes, King David.
He was also ready to go and fight. But they did not allow him to follow them. They said he should not follow this King David with his word. King David was also a very strong fighter. So he said, so the messenger now came that blessed be the Lord your God, who has destroyed the rebels who dare to stand against you. And King David was saying, which kind of greeting is this one? What are you saying? God destroyed the rebels. I know God will destroy the rebels. Which of the rebels? I know God will destroy the rebels. King David said, what are you saying? What happened? Where is my son? Where is my son? Is my son okay? Is Absalom okay? Hope you did not touch Absalom. And the man said, what happened to Absalom? That's what will happen to all your enemies. The king said, what happened? What happened to my son? What happened to my son? And the king was crying that, my son, Absalom. And the king even wished that he should have died instead of his son. And he cried, and he was crying. And some people even thought that David was happy because his son died. But David was not happy. He was never happy because he loved all his sons, and in his own eyes, all of them had died. 2 have died, Absalom and Amnon both died. And the 2 of them died because of what? Because bad behavior. Their daddy was a very good man. David was a very strong and very good, but all of them died because of family issue, anger issue, pride, covetousness. They all died. Amnon died because of fornication. Absalom died because of pride. He was coveting what doesn't belong to him. He was not supposed to become king. He was thinking of taking over the king when the king is still alive. So as a child of God, you must always be a good child of our Father. You must be an obedient child. You see how these boys died. Though David was very sad, David cried because he lost his sons. And he later returned to Jerusalem, and he entered back into the palace, and he was reigning in the palace. So pray God will help us. We will not be rebellion child in Jesus' name. We will not brought sadness to our Father in heaven. Live, give glory in the name of our Father in the name. David was a royal man. His sons supposed to bring in royalty honor to his house, but instead they were bringing him sorrow. We pray we will not bring sorrow to Father in heaven. I pray that we will not bring sorrow to Father in his name. So that's the end of our story.